Lauren, you know what? Officials say that because so many 11th grade students have been forced to leave their classrooms because of the coronavirus pandemic, it won't be fairly easy. It won't be easy for them to fairly assess their grades or their test scores. So that's why experts say admissions counselors will now be looking at student stories instead of their stats. Getting into college is a numbers game.
But there is definitely a 180 turn going on.
You have to factor in the number of applications, open spots, GPAs, SATs, and ACTs that typically determine your fate. But it could be a new set of numbers that decide if you're in or out.
In a 650-word essay is going to be way more powerful than a perfect SAT score or a perfect GPA.
Neha Gupta is with College Shortcuts. It's a program that helps students navigate the admissions process.
A lot of the colleges know that there's not going to be a standardized way after COVID-19 on how the 11th grade grades are going to all pan out.
She says with the coronavirus crisis, closing classrooms, canceling tests, and forcing students to sit at home, she says that traditional numbers for admissions would be skewed. That's why for the first time ever, she says more colleges will be focused on student stories instead of their stats.
That they're going to have to look at the human aspect, meaning the values, the character, why they're interested in it, the passion, how that child is going to be a fit. And that's all going to be boiled down to a 650-word essay.
With admissions deadlines for next school year just months away, she says juniors right now should be using this time to separate themselves from the pack.
And those that take this time as an opportunity to do the hard work, they're going to pass with flying colors and get into the college of their dreams.
Gupta says that colleges won't be too rigid to some of the challenges that students face because of the pandemic, but deadlines, she says, won't be pushed back. She calls the changes long overdue.
I think this is going to be a long-term change. I think COVID-19 is creating a long-term change in a lot of industries and fields.
All right, so Gupta says that if you do have an opportunity to take an ACT or SAT test, you should do so. Make sure that just to give yourself another chance on boosting your chances of getting in. But she says because of the pandemic, a number of those testing dates have been canceled. We're live tonight on the Sound of UMKC. I'm Jonathan McCall, Fox 4 News.
Right now is a very uncertain time for juniors.
Neha Gupta is the CEO of College Shortcuts.
Many colleges have been very clear that their applications are still opening on August 1st.
She says this is not a time for high school juniors or any students to slack off.
There are multiple criteria that colleges look for, and without the SAT as one of their criteria points, it now weighs the resume portion and the essay portion way higher than ever before in the admissions process.
She says this important year hasn't been a waste.
You still had a full semester to show your success. They're going to look at the student from a beautiful, holistic place. What is the student? What is their character? What is their resilience? Who are they as a person?
The AP exams are also changing.
They're going to switch the 3-hour test to a 45-minute test online. So what does that mean? That means a student needs to be studying really hard for that exam.
All right, the spread of coronavirus continues to put things on hold. Here to tell us how students and parents can navigate through college admissions is Neha Gupta, CEO of CollegeShortcuts.com. Neha, do I have that name right?
Yes, you do.
All right, top of the morning to you. Let's talk a little bit about the school year being put on hold. The far-reaching impact as it has to seniors trying to get into college. What's the biggest obstacle that you're encountering right now?
The biggest obstacle we're encountering right now is that high schoolers that are in 11th grade, the juniors, had prepared for the SAT and ACT for the March, April, and May test dates, which have all been canceled. Many of them have no SAT or ACT score when it comes to applying college, and now they're very concerned with the SATs being canceled.
So fascinating. So it's not so much the seniors that are encountering the problems, it's the juniors, because that's when you're doing your SAT work.
Correct. Right now, many colleges are reassessing their admissions process for the first time in this manner, where they may be going test optional. We know the UC system has already decided they're going to go test optional, which means now students need to take the time and focus in on how they're going to make their application stand out with their resume, their extracurriculars, and their essays, because most schools will not be looking at the scores and GPA due to all the cancellations that have happened due to coronavirus.
That's fascinating. So let's expand on that. How do you increase your non-SAT work to make your application more attractive when school's not in session and the economy shut down? What can you do that can make you stand out amongst all the people who are trying to do the very same thing?
Absolutely. I would say one of the big things for students is to remember to have a clear vision of what you wanted to do before the coronavirus. That's number one. The second is really finding ways to explore your passion online. We're living in a world where we basically have a high-powered computer in our pockets with our iPhones and so forth. So there's so many ways to utilize the internet, study things, learn things, and still take what we've done offline but translate it online in today's world and continue to do these extracurricular activities, because it is important outside of just normal schoolwork to show these are the things I love doing, these are the interests that I have, and still to come off as a well-rounded student during this time. So from my perspective, it really is about translating the offline to online, and then also realizing that you're a human, and in the admissions process, they're now going to be looking at the essays to see your character, your values, who you are. And so students' writing and ability to stand out in their essays is going to be more crucial than ever in the history of admissions.
All right. So, Neha, before we let you go, where can people find you and your company?
Absolutely. They can find us at collegeshortcuts.com and also on Facebook. They'll learn about our latest free webinars that we're doing to serve the community as much as possible at facebook.com. And then you type in College Shortcuts for our page.
Hey, thanks for your insight. And I know it's turned a lot of people's worlds upside down, but you still have to do the work, and you still have to find a creative way to make your application stand out. We appreciate the tips.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego. It is 7:47. See you on the flip side of this break.